fully stocked bar, dedicated cleaning crew, not security. This isn't just a venue. It's a floating masterpiece designed to make your event the talk of the town. Imagine your guests dancing under the stars, drinks in hand, with breathtaking views of the coastline as your backdrop. From birthdays to corporate events to exclusive parties, the Embassy Yacht offers promoters a unique platform to create unforgettable memories and boost your brand's reputation. Call or WhatsApp 399-5959 or email embassycruises@gmail.com.
Are you ready to elevate your baking game? Try Lion Brand Self-Rising Flour, now in our convenient and eco-friendly pouch packaging. With just the right balance of flour and baking powder, our self-rising flour takes the guesswork out of baking. Whether you're making up fluffy pancakes for the kids or baking a delicious cake for that special occasion, Lion Brand Self-Rising Flour helps you create not just food, but connections that bring people together. Bake more, worry less, and share the goodness. Lion Brand, the power behind our great taste traditions.
You using that one? I trust that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. You using that?
Yeah.
It's like this. We have to appreciate it. Make that open. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
General Yahanna. We will be live on the streets.
Pick up this also.
Every Sunday, 7 p.m. Hosted by Officer Isupktrinidad and Officer Makoya. Isupk under Commanding General Yahanna. Live every Thursday night from 7 p.m. on the streets. 91.9.
Right. Yeah, shalom again.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom. Right. Peace and Officer Swapiala. Right. And
Peace and Officer Makoya of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge.
right.
The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge has been established in 1969 by Commanding General Yahanna. Correct, yes, sir?
Right. That's right. Again, you know, we teach the truth according to the Bible. The Bible is all recorded history.
Right.
So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. Right. Our history have a long line, you know, of culture, and this is why without knowing our history and without knowing our culture, this is why we face challenges today. This is why we face, what we're seeing going on right now here in Trinidad and Tobago. Right. Again, the Isupk, was established since 1969. Again, black men, going through these records, the archaeology, the history of the Bible, according, to what we face, what challenges we face, and being oppressed under the conditions by people who don't even recognize or understand that what they are doing is so evil
To the Lord's people.
to the Lord's people.
Mhm.
And this is why it's important for us today. Again, we are here again at the Street 919 FM, right? Again, we say tawada to the host, for hosting us, giving us the opportunity to, to be here once again, right? And, anything you want to add?
To all the listening callers outside, anytime the program going on, why is the program going on, and you want to call in, number to call in is 342-0081, 466-5391 or 771-1791. Feel free to call in during the segment of the program. Right? Today, what we're going to go through with the officer above me, Officer Swapiala, we're going to go through the origins of the Bible. The Bible. Most people want to hear the Bible. You understand? Some might say, but I mean subscribing to that. You understand? The Bible was written by man. The Bible was created by whoever, whatsoever they might have. But it is very important that we understand the origin of the Bible. You understand? Understand King James. Understand the different versions of the Bible. And then we go into the Bible, we're going to see and understand that color is very important in the Bible. You understand? Just like we will have the traffic light, we know we wouldn't run a red light. You know when you see the amber light is to slow down, and you know when you see green is to go. So color is very important in all aspects of life. You understand? So like I say, if I may,
Right.
you want to
No, I again, we here to bring the truth. And, you know, this is why it's important for us here in Trinidad and Tobago.
right.
The truth is so important to us. You know, last week we talked about, you know, La Familia, right? Which is our Hispanic brothers or the tribe of Asha, which is Venezuelan, right? They are our brothers. We spoke, you know, and told, you know, the viewing public, and we told brothers and sisters here in Trinidad as well, you know, the native indigenous people, you know, in Sandy Grande, you know, in Arima, you know, in these places where, you know, they have been pushed back from occupying, you know, their as we say, the landmass where their forefathers, you know, had inherited, being here way before, you know, the place was populated as is today. They were you know, traversing these lands, and they as well are our brothers, right?
Okay.
And you know the importance of knowing what matter. Again, color, you know, stems from a long line or trail of history. So a lot of people hear color, and it had a purpose inside our records, and that one purpose was to do what? To identify something that was going to be brought or be, as we say, grow into a lie, to do what? To destroy the minds of these people, of so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, right?
Right. So before we go deep into the understanding of the origins of the Bible and if King James wrote the Bible or not, you must understand that King James, just like how most people will portray King James to be, of the alternative lifestyle, King James was a black man. He was a black man from the tribe of Judah. That is important for our people to understand, or people who subscribe to the Bible, right? There are many different versions of the Bible. For example, we might have the Tyndale Bible, the Coverdale Bible, the Matthew Bible, the Great Bible, Geneva, or the Bishop's Bible. And now it's coming right down to now to where we have the Women's Bible, Kids Bible, and all these different things. But the Bible was a compilation of books. The word Bible just means book. You understand? When you take it out from the Latin, the Greek, which is biblios or biblio, it just means book, or la biblio, the book. You understand? That book was given to us, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, by our forefathers. That compilation of books was given to us by our forefathers. You understand? If I may, sir, let me go to one scripture, Baba Kusha. If you could start it off like that, if you want.
Yeah, no sweat. Yeah,
right?
Go ahead.
I would like to take the 2 Timothy chapter 16 and verse 17, Baba Kusha. Right?
2 Timothy.
Kalanka.
2 Timothy chapter
16 and verse 17.
Right. The book of 2 Timothy chapter 16, right?
And verse 17, Baba Kusha.
Right. But shun profane. Right.
2 Timothy, yeah, right?
Yeah. 2 Timothy.
I'm going to catch up with you. 2 Timothy.
2 and 16, right?
Right. Go ahead.
The book of 2 Timothy chapter.
Hold on, no. You could go into something. Let me just make sure I have it here, because
all right, no sweat.
Sure I catch up with
and again, just a reminder for brothers and sisters, you know, feel free to call in, right? Feel free. You know, the again, the numbers is 342-0081, 466, 5391, 771, 1391. Right?
Right? 2 Timothy chapter 3, Baba Kusha.
3.
Yeah, 2 Timothy 3 and verse 16.
Right. The book of 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 16. Right? All scriptures is given by inspiration of God.
You understand? So, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. What we have to understand is that all scriptures, this Bible, was given by the inspiration of the Most High, by the inspiration of God. This is not what man think, or what man thought, or what man just write on their own. This was given by the Most High to give to certain people. Where Baba Kusha?
And is profitable for doctrine.
And it's profitable for what?
For doctrine.
And it is profitable for doctrine. You understand? Go ahead.
For reproof. For correction.
So it is profitable for doctrine. You understand? Reproof, criticism of fault. You know, sometimes like you might have an exam, you might send up your paper to the teacher, and the teacher will correct it, she will mark it,
Right.
She will see where you're going wrong and right. That is for reproof. So now the Bible is to show the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man where he's going wrong, where he's going right. You understand? Go ahead.
For instruction.
For what?
For instruction.
To show the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man where he should go, what he should do, how he will come out from the condition that he's in. You understand? Go ahead.
In righteousness, that the man of God may be perfect.
That the man of God may be what?
Perfect.
So-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. All our brothers and sisters in these ghettos could be perfect. You understand? You could be perfect according to the Lord. Most people might think, nah, I can't be perfect. You understand? Because we think perfect from a religious standpoint, whereby I wearing all white, I dancing, I singing in the church. Nah, I perfect. Nah, it's not like that. The Lord telling you, so-called black man, you could, as a people, be perfect. Go ahead.
Thoroughly furnished unto all good works.
Thoroughly furnished with all good works. Because right now, we as a people, we need all the good works we could get within our community. Within our community, the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community. So like yes, sir.
Right. And again, you know, it's so heavy that, you know, that you drop this and you pull this out of our records, because again, is a reminder for brothers and sisters, the Bible is our recorded history. And to know our history is so important to us today, right? Again, you know, just a sidebar, when we look at, we see the condition that we see our brothers and sisters face right here in Trinidad and Tobago. And the topic that we choose is like, it's not because, you know, we a lot of people say is a certain demographic of people, or a certain race of people. But when you look at it now, we could go in our records and prove why it is this beface us or is happening to us today, right? Because now we see, you know, as we say, the URP, you know, sending them over 300 and some plus workers, and 99 or 90%, you know, of that people come from a different, as we say, a background. When we talk about color, when we talk about a family, and this family face this condition daily, and we fail to realize the importance of coming together as a family.
Correct.
But notice in the ISUPK under commanding General Yahanna, you would see that family grow. You would see the structure of that family. This is why we have food programs, we have prison programs. We have a school here in Trinidad. The location is number 1 Morris Street, Point 14. Tell brothers and sisters, come on down to the schools. We have classes, you know, Monday through Saturday. Come on down to the schools. They have a number. We have a web page. Everything is set up because why? We are family. Our family, our Hispanic family, our Native Indian brothers family. They, you know, again, I've been longing to understand why it is this keep on, you know, befalling them. But notice, the Most High God always had righteous, you know, black men on the ground. And when I say black man, I'm talking about this family. I'm talking about Hispanic brothers. I'm talking about our Native Indigenous people brothers. And this family is a family longing to do one thing, to know what the truth. And this is why we're here today. To do what? To bring this truth, to bring that reminder to this family, right?
So like I say, if I may, when you hear the officer saying bringing this truth, you understand? This truth is just you, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, coming into the understanding of your culture, walking in your heritage.
Right.
You understand the things that your forefathers left for you in this book. As the days going along, we're going to get more and more into it, and you're going to see the beautiful culture that black people have. When you watch at the ghettos, for example, right? You see the ghettos and them throwing parties and stuff like that. Watch the ghetto carefully. When they throw in any party, wants to have no violence, watch how sweet it is be.
Mhm.
Watch how sweet it is be.
Mhm.
But only when it have violence, then now everybody have a finger to point. Inside this book, so-called Black Man, Hispanic Man, and Native Indian Man shows us as a people how we could be with all this violence against one another, what we will call so-called black on black crime. You understand? All these things is inside here. So like yes, sir.
Right, and I know you're going and do the little history,
come on.
right? So you could go ahead because now what you know, Osama Park is going to bring out here is something that you know that was not that wouldn't be taught, you know, in as we say in any religion, because this what we teach here now it belongs to this family. So now we talking about our family, talking about kings.
Right.
We're talking about kings that sprung out of this because now as our records say, this king is going to sit on what? On the throne of his father, who? David. So now, what we're reading about is a brother who a lot of people, as we say, or this society demonize, or as you say, another people portray him to be some that he wasn't to be. So now you can go ahead and
right now we're reading from the Compact Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Right, we are page 86. We're going to read a little bit about King James Version of the Bible, right? So now, the King James Version, when Elizabeth died in 1603, so I guess you want to
you can, yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
When Elizabeth died at 1603, the crown passed to King James I, who had been King of Scotland for 37 years, as James VI, several months after he ascended the throne of England. He authorized a new translation of the Bible to replace the Bishop's Bible. So he authorized a new translation. The Bible wasn't rewritten. He didn't authorize it to be rewritten. You understand? He authorized what? A new translation.
Right. So like if I may,
ahead,
just on that point, and this is why when we look at let me say language on a whole, you would see how this society set up. It had different languages. So now the language of the day was what? Was English.
Full English,
right?
And Saxon.
Right. So and this was something that let me say the majority of this family was, you know, would be a wrong, because now we under or we are wrong other people, and being around other people, just like here today, as we say, we close to our brother Asha. What we go do? We go start to, you know, habla. We go start to, you know, say mi familia, right? Which means you're my family, right? Start to speak in that language, and they now in return go say, yeah, it's my family, because now the way they're doing the speaking in English. Right? So go ahead.
Answer. 47 of the best Hebrew and Greek scholars of the day were divided into 6 groups. So King James got 47. Remember, he's king of the day. You understand? So he got 47 of the best Hebrew and Greek scholars and divided them into 3 groups. 3 for the Old Testament, 2 for the New, and 1 for the Apocrypha, which is something very important that our people must understand. The Apocrypha is part of the King James Bible 1611. Most of us going to church, you understand? And religious leaders teaching us the Bible with only the Old and New Testament, when a part of our black culture is missing from in that book. The Bible that we supposed to be having, the King James Version 1611 Bible. Going on, we continue a bit again, right?
Go ahead.
2 of the groups met at Oxford, 2 at Cambridge, and 2 at Westminster. When a group had completed its task, its work was submitted to 12 men. You understand? So when this group finished their task, they still had to submit it to how much men? 12 men.
Right.
2 from each panel. 12 men, Salakia, 2 from each panel. Final differences of opinions were settled at a general meeting of each company. In cases of special difficulty, learned men outside the board of revisers were consulted. So any difficulty they may have, for example, with some words, learned men outside the company, they still had to go through it. You understand? Marginal notes were used only to explain Hebrew and Greek words to draw attention to parallel passages, because some of the passages had words had similar words that mean the same thing.
That's right.
You understand? So when you look at the Bible, you see it. Some Bibles have the section in the center where it have the margin, but they could use the parallel words to explain what is being explained in the passage, right? Italics were used for words not found in the original but necessary to complete the sense. You understand? So now, King James being king of the day. I know most people might hear about the Dark Ages because, of course, dark people ruled. You understand? England at that time. King James of the day, he didn't write the Bible. King James authorized the translation of the Bible from the Hebrew and Greek text. Right. So now we, as a people, could have it today. And back then, right, at that time, the Roman Catholic Church, they are the ones responsible for removing the Apocrypha from the Bible. And they was fighting against the people because the people going to church, they could not have understood what the preachers and them was telling them about the Bible.
Right.
You understand? So now we're going to church, you're saying now inside the church, you can't ask a question, you don't know what's going on. And King James now fought against the Roman Catholic Church to get this Bible translated for us as a people now to have it, because he wanted it to be spread to the common man.
Right.
So like yes, sir.
Right. And with that being said, it's very important for us again to call in on the lines, share your views, share your opinions, because now it is, as a family, we see what is taking place before our eyes, and the Most High God always had righteous black men to come before the people, to come before this nation, and bring that reminder to them. We look at Ezekiel, we look at Jeremiah, Isaiah, we look even unto a king, Yahushua, or what you will know as Jesus Christ. This is why without the structure or without proper understanding of these records, what we would join or we would formulate, we would join something that would go against our power, go against the Most High God, because the Most High God was always a father to us, and that father would always have instructions for his children to follow, and we being his children of the day would do what was supposed to do, what was supposed to follow these instructions. And again, by joining different philosophies, different doctrine, what formulate out of that, it formulates something that called religion. And what we speak about right now is not that. We're speaking about a family. We're speaking about a structure. We're speaking about a king for over, as we say, in a period where they would call the Dark Ages,
right,
where black people had a rule in this society and had a hold in different, countries, and overseeing the affairs of this society. And because of bringing bringing it to the translation of the day, which was we call Old English, and now we have it today. This is why we advise and we tell our brothers and sisters, to go to, and when you purchase or any recorded book of our history, which is the Bible, to get the King James Version. Because now these other versions, as I mentioned, they would have a lot of altering in it to do what? To keep us in the situation or the condition that we're in.
Right.
And knowing that brief history where you just dropped there again was so valid and very heavy as well, and very enlightening to the people. So with in knowing that, let me read Jeremiah, right? The book of Jeremiah. Because now to understand and to make the people understand this, now we're going to look at what is happening right now here in Trinidad, and not only in Trinidad, where this family reside, right? When I get, go ahead.
Can I cancel the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14 and verse 2.
Right.
Judah mourneth,
Right,
and the gates thereof languish.
right. So who is Judah, right? Again, this is just, as we say, short for the term Jew. You hear say the Jew, right? Who are they? From the tribe of Judah, right? And at this time, that people who were, as we say, in occupancy at Jerusalem at that time were predominantly, as we say, of a color, right? And when I'm talking about a color, there's only one people that they would call this color. Go ahead.
Kanankan, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
They are what?
They are black unto the ground.
So who is identified as black? Who is identified as black? And that black, in as we say in old English, just means about low state. So when, as we say, different, as we say, demographic of people or different, nation or different people take up this book, what they would say? They would say, well, we belong to this family. We belong to that family. And what we will do as a people, we will gravitate towards that.
Right.
Because now we're looking at that color, but this is not what it means. Because now, as you read, just before I just say, what happened to the gates? The gates languish.
Okay.
So now, if there is no as we say, imagine we have protection, and then that protection just diminish. From what? What that protection diminished from? Just like where we at right now. Because now we join culture, we join customs, we take up philosophy, we take up doctrine. Look at the condition of our people today. We run after what we call the ways and the culture of these other people. And you know what happened to them? They benefit off of that. This is why now they could come in I would say, and just a reminder, we're not affiliated with no religious group or organization. We don't deal or mix up in any political arena. So this is nothing political. I'm just throwing that out clear. So the public can understand the reason why we are here. The reason or the purpose that we come here for is to bring a reminder to our people. And we tell brothers and sisters to open your eyes. Again, we have an upcoming, food drive, right? They're dropping that, right? Because now, we brothers and sisters will understand this. A family together, as we say, can't be broken. And what they taught us, or the structure of family that they taught us, was, just the nuclear, or how they call it, the nuclear family.
Right.
We talk about, from your grandparents come down, and then it reach to your home, which will be the father, the mother, and the children, and that is it. But when you look at the structure of, as we say, these other people family, you would see what's going on right now. This is why they can reshuffle and do what they want at any given time as they please, right? I think that's
can say, if I may, just as I say on the note of family, you understand? We have to understand that our family is not just subjected to our house,
right?
Our wife, our husband, our children. You understand? When you read the Bible, your family is going to consist of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You understand? That specific bloodline that came from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel, and he became the father of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. These are your family. This is what the Bible deals with. The Bible deals with a bloodline of people. This bloodline of people have rules, just like any family will have rules in their house. We as a people, we have rules and guidelines and laws to follow.
Right, and again, what the brother saying is so important. And in order to follow these rules and these guidelines, you must do what? You must come under righteous, black men, right? So, who was that?
Jeremiah.
Right. Read it over again.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 14 and verse 2. Judah mourning.
Right. So the Jews are in mourning. so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians are in mourning. We see what's happening right now on the borders of it. I even want to say America, right on the borders of Trinidad, right here.
Okay.
Right on the borders of Trinidad, right here. We see, you know, as we say, in different articles on the media showing that these brothers and them were pursuing, as we say, were fishermen.
Okay.
As we say, making the deal, but because we were labeled and given, as we say, that label
Right.
of being so, as we say, so wicked and evil in this place, as the word go out, what Germany corner they start to label us. So as we move, one time a tag on me, and when I say a tag on us, I'm talking about this family. Like black people don't know, as we say, like the care control themselves, the care. So we self as a family start to talk against one another.
Okay.
Start to talk against one another. But again, the Most High God always had, you know, as we say, a structure, as we say, a remnant of righteous black men to come before the people and let them know, hey, don't talk against your brother. Don't talk against your sister.
Okay.
Without getting a proper, as we say, proper information of the cause of what act they have committed. And when you do, as we say, that root background check, most of the time, or all of the time, you'll find it was something simple. But because, again, being around, as we say, these other people, they would always have us at hand's length, and we don't even recognize that.
Right.
This is why we're telling brothers and sisters about it today, because we recognize it. We were once in that position without any recognition of who we, as we say, we tarry around, or who dwell amongst us. But in our records, it shows us who dwell amongst us. And when we talk, this is why we say color, it matters. Color matters, right? Give me the book, give me Revelation.
Okay.
Revelation, right? So this is just as you say, a description of you know what was to come. This was recorded right here for a specific purpose.
Okay.
So when that portraying or that image, as you say, on come to the forefront, as we say, of our eyes, of our children's eyes, it'll have men to come and read this and to give you a definition why it is important to understand who we're speaking about and the purpose that it was recorded here for, right?
Can.
Right. So give me you'll start at 1 please, right?
Can. The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Right.
The revelation of Jesus Christ.
The revelation of who?
The revelation of Jesus Christ.
Right. So something is going to be revealed. The word revelation just means reveal, right? So something is going to be revealed to who? Go ahead.
Which God gave unto him to show unto his servants the things which must shortly come to pass.
Right. And why? We are servants as well. This is why we could come today and read about this and tell brothers and sisters, don't just look at, as we say, at who you are today in the society. You are labeled as being, let me say, the let me say the destructive in this society, but there's a total different.
Okay.
We are the salt of the earth. The scriptures say that. All records say that. And wherefore, wherever this salt is, what would happen? It will have flavor. We bring flavor to here.
Okay.
The native indigenous people brought flavor to here. As we say, our Hispanic brothers, they bring flavor to here. As we say, so-called, as we say, black people bring flavor to here.
Okay.
Right? So what is going to be revealed to us? To destroy the lie that is already here. Right? But in this specific time, this was a time to come, and we're living in that time right now, right? Go ahead.
Can. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
Right, and everybody know about, as we say, about John, or John the Revelator. This John was in the time, or he had walked in the time of our King as being one of his apostles, Jesus Christ. So what is being revealed to him? He would do what? Just like any brother would do. Just like any brother who has a family, and not just, as we say, when we talk about the husband and the wife, his extended family.
Right.
In knowing that, hey, just as you mentioned before, Jacob name was changed to Israel. Israel had sons. These sons and them would grow to be nations of people. This is why he called Sarah the mother of many nations. How much children did Sarah have? One, which was who? Isaac. These are the men, or the sons that come out of these loins.
Right.
Right? So what we're going to reveal is something that would not be taught. You probably hear it, but sidestep it. The condition that we face today, we just read the Jews mourning. Because why? We don't understand what black is. Why we need to understand, and why we need to know what black is.
Right.
Right? Go ahead.
Can. Going on to verse 13.
Yeah,
Can. Book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man.
Right? And the 7 candlesticks, when we look back in our history, this was what the priests would use for light. So imagine you holding up this light, and you shining, and you're looking through the light because you're giving your light, and you say in the midst of the 7 candlestick, one. So somebody standing up while you're holding this light up,
Okay.
because now you're giving light to this person who's standing up in the middle. Right? Go ahead.
If I may say so,
Go ahead.
let's jump on here a little bit, right? And also to just as the officer bringing out with the candlesticks, right? That is the menorah.
Right.
We'll call it menorah or the manara in the Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So that's
right. And again, if you want to know more about that, come down to the school at number 1 Morris Street, Point Fortin. Again, we have the upcoming high holidays, which is the memorial, blowing a trumpet.
Okay.
Right? Come on down to the school. It was September the 29th. Or the 21st, September the 21st, right? Come on down to the school at 7 p.m., right? So in the midst of the 7 candlestick, as you say, this given light, one like unto the Son of Man. Go ahead.
Clothed with a garment down to the foot.
Right. Go ahead.
And girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
Right. And if you go up on our webpage right now, you'll see, as we say, we just the earlier part of the year, we had our Passover. And you'll see brothers, in what we call a garment. This is what, our King, as we say, had at that time. Because remember now, this light, this light is up in the air. And with shining now, you're seeing somebody in the middle standing there with a garment, clothed, down to the foot. Go ahead.
Okay. Down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
Right, and girt about the paps, because what we had is, as we say, what we say is a war belt. Right, because remember now, when you look at that, you see them old war movies, as we say, in the times of the pharaohs and them, you would see a lot of these have this belt in the midsection here.
Okay.
Right? So as you say, because real sword at that time.
Okay.
So when a man trusts on them now, it might bounce.
Okay.
Right? So this is what we see in here right now.
And the other bit of way saying, so like I say for me,
Mm-hmm.
goes to show in the street, clothed down to the foot with a garment, and his midsection has the golden girdle.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It goes to show that the images that they give us of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? With this person wearing this white robe,
Right.
you could see that this person is of the alternative lifestyle.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
That is not the description of Christ. Even
That's
if
right.
I like how they try to portray, but we'll
Mm-hmm.
get into that as rightfully seen later. So
Right. Yeah, go ahead.
Can.
Mm-hmm.
And his feet, Salakia, verse 14, his head and his hairs were white like wool.
Right? So it's what started to happen now. We read before in Jeremiah 14 and 2, the Jews mourning, not being privy to these instructions, or not being privy to the understanding of what we're reading. They would see what this is why we face this condition today. This is why now when we look up, we would always, as we say, turn to the, as we say, to these other people and follow after their customs. This is why when we close our eyes and, as we say, and we go before the Lord, but who we would see? We would see, as we say, a depiction or an image of another people in our minds, and not knowing that, hey, this was recorded for here for us. Just like what we read in King James, that was the spirit that the Lord on these brothers to establish that these records that we have today, to establish that this people or this family would face, as we say, conditions today. And again, our brother asked a question, last week, concerning, the tribes, concerning, the family or the sons of Jacob, because we went in a little bit into Asher. Again, if you want, you could call back in, right? You could get a breakdown on, on all the tribes and them. It would take a little bit. We could do, do it in parts, in segments as the time go along.
Okay.
So what we're doing right now is giving that understanding, as we say, why color matter, right? So it said, well, he was clothed down to his foot with a girdle, a golden girdle, right? And it's the hair and the head were white like wool. Go ahead.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Go ahead.
As white as snow.
Right.
And
go ahead.
And his eyes were like the flame of fire.
Right. And a lot of people, this is where now, as we say, a lot of religions start to step in.
Right.
So now I would take this and I would formulate it into something. And we know that as a people, that the herb, as the scripture say, was created for meat. And that meat wasn't to take and do something else. So it's just like any, as we say, any doctor or any, any person who in the medical field would use it for, as a purpose of what? Of bringing aid to any ailment or any sickness that we might face. We take it, and we take a custom from someone else, and we start to do what? We started, as we say, use it in a way that it will bring, as we say, bring on these conditions onto us. Okay. That would, as we say, would diminish us or destroy us. Because why? Our gates are languished. Okay. It open for any of these other household or any of these other races or family to come in and do what? And as you say, plant the seed, we say a seed of corruption, and to cause discord amongst this family. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
Why it reached to the point now of as we say, of this part of his body, to give a description and then highlight it even more. So I start with a color, a brass. And anybody that know the color of brass, it derives from brown. And when that brown now, as we say, get a little tan, I go as far as that, or a little burnt, it just becomes a little more dark. Why this was recorded here for over as we say, 4,000 years, for over a period of time. And just using a time frame, the number, it just figurative, right? As a reminder to us over a period of time. I will use that term, a period of time. Over that period of time, this family now is as we say, is being brought to the understanding that we have an issue that we need to push out from amongst us. And that issue is to understand that we belong to a family.
Right.
That family comes from a line or stem from a righteous line where it didn't have the ones who the Lord chosen to be portrayed as somebody outside of this house.
Right.
So the image that they portray, as they say, as we were growing up in our times and even to the day, now a lot of, as we say, these organizations would try to, as we say, remove or push it to the side, and they would say, what they say, a lot of them come and say, color don't matter. But we're reading about what right now, about color. Black people need to understand that they've derived or stem from a righteous bloodline. John, being a servant in the time of our king, was given, as we say, this vision to do what? To bring the reminder to us. And as we say, this truth didn't come, from a line that the Lord didn't choose. The Lord chose this family to do what? Because the Lord has a reputation, and any father who has a household will always set that bounds and rules to uphold and keep his reputation, because his reputation is what stands. Right? Yeah, I think that's
it. Yeah, can answer. So like I say, if I may, as rightfully saying about this family, and this goes to show, right? When you read about the description of Christ, you're understanding now that Christ is a part of your family. You get the description of Christ. Hair on his head, white like wool. You understand? His head and his hairs, meaning the hair on his head and the hairs on his face, white like wool, giving it the color, giving it the texture. You understand? And when you look at black people today, we are the ones fitting that description with the head and the hairs. You understand? Right. You can see when it's saying white like wool, it's showing you the color that Christ had. He had white hair, what we will call gray hairs. Right. You understand? Why is these things not being taught in these religious institutions? You understand? When, as kids coming up, when we look, we're going to be looking at all these superheroes, for example, on the TV. All our superheroes will be supposedly just like the oppressor, white. You understand? Where is the superheroes for the black man, for the black child? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah? Right. The things that Christ did, the things that Christ went through, black people need to know this. You understand? They need that role model to look up to. We can't look up to no other role model of these other nations. That's right. You understand? As you rightfully saying, Christ have a reputation. You have a name. You understand? And our people need to know that and follow these things. So like yes, sir. Right.
Yeah. So again, just a reminder, because that time, as you say, is running up on us so quick. Again, we have our food program, right? Again, call the number to call of the school is 479-8286. Go up on our webpage, Isupktrinidad and Tobago, right? We have our upcoming high holiday, which is the memorial blowing of trumpets, which would be the 21st of this month, right? From 7 p.m. Come on down to the school again, break bread with your family, right? To our Hispanic brothers, La Familia or Mi Familia, right? You all can come through as well. Any young brothers or sisters that need marriage counsel as well. Marriage counsel is always also is being done, by the school, right? By men authorized to do that because now that's that topic we will have to touch on, because it's so important to understand what marriage is. Yeah, and again, we like the callers, one more time here about right. So again, callers, let's use it 2 minutes. As you say, the time run up quick. Callers as well. You all can call in as well, on the live, right? And bring your questions. Again, this is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Again, on the ISUPK under Commanding General Yahanna, down here in Trinidad, on the Street 919 FM. Again, bringing this news or bringing this, reminder to this family, to our native Indian brothers in, as we say, in Arima, in Sandy Grande. Everybody know, as you say, Daisy Boze. Right. Everybody know, as we say, the music that she bring. She was from this family. a long line, a long history, right? And again, our culture is what bring flavor to this place.
Right.
When you look at what we do as a people, as we say, if you remove us from amongst these, you would see what happened. Well, look at what's taking place in the Middle East right now. We sure you don't have no black people across there. We sure.
Okay.
Because of the conflict that taking place. This is a reminder to us.
So I can say, if I may,
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
callers, the number to call in is 342-0081. And number again, 342-0081 or 66-5391 or 771-1791.
Right. So again, callers, let me hear from you all, right? Just a reminder as well. Again, and just run down a little list at the programs. We have prison programs as well, right? For brothers and who is in, as we say, who listen on the listening audience. You have family in prison, contact us, right? We do, as we say, we do again food and clothing drive, right?
Okay.
Do food and clothing drive, right? So again, contact us, right?
We also too, so like I said,
Yeah,
if
go
I may,
ahead.
we also have rehabilitation programs, drug and alcohol.
That's
You
right.
understand?
Mm-hmm.
We also be on the streets, Brand Lara Promenade. You
Right.
understand?
Right.
Every Friday,
Saturday.
every Saturday.
Yeah,
You understand?
Right.
We come out and we teach you people more about the Bible.
Mm.
You understand?
Right. That's right.
So okay.
Right. Yeah. Again, yes, sir. Go ahead, caller.
Hello, good night.
Yeah, good night.
Yeah, call good night.
Good night. Oh, what?
Yes, I hear you talking
Who am
about
I?
the Bible.
Who am I speaking to? If I may,
Yeah, this is Jonah
Joda from
Marima.
Arima, right?
Yeah, I'm a nickname.
All right. Yeah. Shalom, Joda. Right.
Big up to all the people in our
Yeah, big up to all the people in Arima at the same time. It's like when you're calling the next phone started ring one time. So let's bring our vibe to the studio one time. They bring our vibe because again, our brothers in Arima, big up to Joda. Go ahead.
Yeah, me and a guy was arguing, but I'm not a partner
Right.
about this Israel in the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
And them is not God people.
Mm-hmm.
People perfection to be like these people is God people now. But the hair is not like wool and the foot is not like brass.
Right.
Like if it's burned in a furnace.
It's Salaki for me, and that's Salaki. That's mean sorry. Yeah. I just want to cut in a little bit now because I watch. It's like you're breaking down something to the people right now in Trinidad. You breaking down something, and it's like just as we say what the brother was bringing out earlier on with King James and identifying, and this is why we went into this, because this is something that we move away from, because now we grow up knowing that color doesn't matter, and you identifying that. Yeah. So
color doesn't matter.
Yeah. So again, Joda from Arima, Lord Allah, we see you down at the school again. We are brothers in Arima as well too, right? We are brothers, again in his own, right? So again, the number to or the school location is Morris Street, Point 14, right? Anything that you need, right? You can always call the number, and I appreciate you calling in on the station tonight now, right? So
one more thing I want to say, right?
Go ahead, brother.
One more thing I want to say. These people in Israel right now, they have a philosophy in their mind that if they cause World War III, the Messiah will come and save them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Right now.
Right. And here.
Some pastors believe in that.
Yeah, the nice thing, Joda. We're reading out of our records, reading out of our history, and for you to identify that, it is very important. And this is why I tell brothers, come to the school so you can learn a little more. All right. Right.
All right, brothers.
You have a good night, Joda. I appreciate your call, right? from Arima,
problem.
right? Big ups to Arima in the house, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, shalom. Right?
So like I say, family.
Yes, sir.
All right, next one.
Yeah.
All right.
So like, right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Continue. 1 minute. Right. So again, brothers that are calling to the program, again, join us again on the live, next week, Lord willing, right? Call the number, call the school number, right? Yes, so like, yeah.
Yes, so like I say,
Yeah, go
family,
ahead, go ahead.
right? Just as the caller just called in there and he's saying that the people in Israel right now, we understand that they're not the real Jews, and that's in the Bible, that
That's
is in the
right.
book of Revelation. So like,
That's right.
next caller.
Yeah, shalom.
Yeah, good night.
Hey, shalom, sis.
I've been listening to your presentation. You all itemize the Spanish people, the Indian, and the Black, as the children of the first tribe.
Right.
So I look at it as the 10 tribe kingdom was taken captive by the Assyrians,
Right.
and the 2 tribe kingdom were taken captive by the Babylonians. After a period of time, especially the 10 tribe kingdom, they intermarried and so forth, they lost their initial distinctiveness.
Caller, if I may. Yeah.
91.9 FM every Thursday.
So what you do
Yes.
in order to not run out of time, you'll see here.